TomoNews presents
Crocodile attacks.
Thai woman commits suicide by jumping in crocodile pit. A depressed Thai woman committed suicide by leaping into a crocodile pit at the Samut Prakan Crocodile Farm and Zoo last week. The 65-year-old woman left her house in Bangkok last Friday morning and made her way to the crocodile farm in the afternoon. Security camera footage showed the woman leaving her shoes on the walkway. That's when witnesses say she intentionally jumped into the croc pit, which had more than 1,000 crocodiles that day. Police weren't able to identify the body until Saturday, after the victim's health insurance card was found floating on the surface of the water. The victim's sister said the woman had been depressed and had not talked to anyone for several days before her fatal jump.
Fisherman chomped by 4-meter crocodile. A 57-year-old fisherman in Australia's Northern Territory has been killed by a crocodile named Michael Jackson on Monday. The 57-year-old fisherman and his wife were on the bank of the Adelaide River when his line snagged. The man was fishing in Michael Jackson's territory but didn't realize he was in danger. While the man tried to release his snare, Michael Jackson ambushed him and took him under. His wife witnessed the attack and called police to the site. Around 9:30 p.m., police and wildlife officers found Michael Jackson and shot him to death. When wildlife officers performed a necropsy on Michael Jackson, the fisherman's body was found inside. This is the 4th fatality by crocodile in the Northern Territory in the last 12 months.
A 24-year-old Australian man was taken in horrifying fashion by a giant saltwater crocodile while swimming in front of friends in Australia's Northern Territory on Saturday night. IT worker Sean Cole and about 15 friends were celebrating a birthday near the Mary River, a waterway known to be teeming with crocs, when Cole and one of his friends went back into the water after an earlier dip. But a massive 5-meter croc had marked Cole. Horrified friends saw the animal close its jaws around the man's body and swim down the river with its prey before disappearing. Police and park rangers searched through the night. Rangers shot dead every large croc they found. Police found Cole's body on Monday morning. Croc researcher Dr. Graham Webb said swimming in the river comes with an almost 100% chance of being attacked. The river is said to have the highest density of saltwater crocs in the world. Staff at the Mary River Holiday Park say the group was warned not to swim in the water.
Ugandan fisherman kills the crocodile that ate his wife and unborn child. This is Mubarak Batambuze, a 50-year-old fisherman from central Uganda. Last year, Mubarak's pregnant wife Naribe went down to the banks of Lake Kyoga to fetch firewood and water and was snatched by what Ugandan wildlife officials said was a 1,300-pound, 25-foot-long monster crocodile. Nothing but a few fingers and toes remained of his 8-month pregnant wife, and this heartbroken husband vowed revenge. For 3 months, he grieved. Then some friends had news. Mubarak, the crocodile that took your wife, is back. His time for vengeance had come. Deciding on an epic showdown, Mubarak shelled out $5, a considerable sum for him, to commission a blacksmith to craft a special spear with a barbed hook for maximum damage. Returning to the river, he found his prey and thrust in his spear. After battling it for an hour and a half, Mubarak and friends roped the creature on the shore and finished it. Locals said 6 women and children were taken by what may have been the same croc last year. The dead animal was taken to a university and vets found what appeared to be human bones inside it. Locals are hailing Mubarak as the savior of their village.
Mother attacks crocodile to save daughter's life. A quick-thinking mother saved her daughter from becoming a crocodile meal in India last week. Both women were washing clothes on the riverbanks of a village outside of Vadodara. The crocodile emerged suddenly from the river and grabbed 19-year-old Kanta Vankar by the right leg. The crocodile dragged Kanta into the river as she screamed and struggled against its mighty grip. Hearing her daughter's screams, Diwali rushed over and whacked the crocodile with her washing bat. After a 10-minute struggle, the crocodile gave up and returned to the water without its breakfast. Kenta is fortunate to have such a brave and quick-thinking mother. She suffered only minor injuries to her legs.
Giant crocodile takes on bull shark. An 18-foot monster crocodile named Brutus is the most famous resident of the Adelaide River in Australia's Northern Territory. The photogenic reptile, believed to be more than 80 years old, is famous for his missing front leg. Legend has it that Brutus lost the limb in a shark attack long ago. Earlier this week, the croc took revenge on his razor-toothed nemesis in front of an audience of about 25 people on a cruise. They came to the murky waters of the Adelaide to view the jumping crocs, but they didn't expect any sharks. Brutus wrapped his chompers around the 1.5-meter bull shark and brought it up to the delight of the crowd. Cameras ready, the cruise group started snapping pictures of Brutus as he carried the still-living shark to land. Brutus then took it back into the water to shake it around a bit before heading into the mangroves to protect his prey. The shark was a departure from the croc's usual diet of buffalo meat. It just shows, for an old croc, Brutus is pretty quick, said Morgan Bowman, operator of the cruise. Crocodile wins an extreme golf ball hunting competition. A friendly competition to see who's got the most balls turned deadly Wednesday night when Jacques van der Sant fell victim to an ornery 13-foot reptile that recently came out of hibernation. Van der Sant and a friend had a few drinks and challenged each other to a golf ball hunt at Lake Panic out at hole number 9 of the Skakuza Golf Course in Kruger National Park. The golf ball hunters went underwater 3 times, but they weren't the only ones hunting that evening. As the men played with their balls in waist-deep water, Van der Sant was pulled under by a giant croc. The friend notified Kruger National Park rangers of a croc attack around 10 p.m. When the rangers arrived at the scene, they found Van der Sant's body inside the mouth of the beast. They shot it dead with a rifle and shared these pictures to send a message to other crocs of the consequences of messing with golfers. They also serve as a good reminder to golfers to purchase their golf balls from the clubhouse. Van der Sant was 29 and would sometimes kiss fish.
Shoalhaven Zoo handler attacked by crocodile. An animal handler was rushed to the Shoalhaven District Hospital south of Sydney, Australia, with non-life-threatening hand injuries after being attacked by a crocodile on Monday. Handler Trent Burton was feeding the largest male crocodile at Shoalhaven Zoo around noon when the incident occurred. The crocodile, known as John, is a 3.7-meter-long giant and has been with the zoo for more than 10 years. John was obviously hungry and took some meat before the designated area and then bit down on Burton's hand as he tried to grab the meat back. Zoo visitors watched in horror as Burton was dragged into the water by his hand before managing to escape after putting his other hand into the mouth of the ravenous croc. Burton was treated at the zoo by paramedics and walked to the ambulance. He was taken to the hospital and treated for bites on both hands. A lucky man indeed, mate.
A behemoth of a gator came out of nowhere and ate a 9-month-old Siberian husky in Jacksonville, North Carolina, according to the dog's owners. Amy Matz was out walking and playing fetch with her husky Simba on Tuesday when the 80-pound dog ran over to a nearby creek to drink some water, where a massive 12-foot-long alligator lay waiting. The 500-pound gator lunged at Simba and smashed him against the ground before pulling the canine underwater. State wildlife officials located the alligator on Wednesday and shot and killed it.
If you saw a beast like this on the beach, you'd stop in your tracks too. Ryan Blair was dropped off at Governor Island with his kayak, water and supplies. He thought he was alone, but he wasn't. Governor Island is 4 kilometers from the mainland, and when Blair started running out of water, he decided to make the trip. But then a giant sea crocodile got in his way and he turned around. He tried again and again, but each time the 20-foot set of teeth sent him back to shore. Then, one morning, Don McLeod was fishing with friends and saw a light on the island. He went to check it out and found Blair. They gave him a beer. Blair made it back to the mainland, a bit worn around the edges, but all right.
Man killed by a gator after he ignored all the warning signs. While Hollywood makes millions teaching us not to mess with giant lizards, one man met an unfortunate end after underestimating a massive alligator in Texas. 28-year-old Tommy Woodward was out drinking with a lady friend next to a Texan bayou when he thought, hey, why not take a late-night dip in an alligator-infested bayou? Woodward ignored signs that warned against swimming in the bayou, put up due to a recent sighting of a gargantuan gator. His friend saw an alligator in the water and understandably decided to stay out of the water, urging him to do the same. But Woodward wasn't going to let a measly gator deter him from enjoying himself on his midnight rendezvous. Instead, he said, bleep the alligators, and jumped right in. What happened next was something that could have belonged in any Spielberg movie, and Woodward was promptly attacked by the gator. Woodward's lady friend screamed for help, and another woman ran to help, but it was too late. They saw Woodward's body float to the surface again briefly before it was once again dragged under. Woodward's body was later fished out of the water by police officers in a boat. Texas Parks and Wildlife say that alligators are predatory animals and will eat almost anything it can catch. Basically, don't bleep with them, guys.
Crocodile the size of a family car snatches a man out of a boat in Australia. Human remains have been found inside a crocodile after a man was attacked in Australia's Kakadu National Park. A 62-year-old man was taken by a crocodile while on a fishing trip with his wife, son, and daughter-in-law in the Kakadu National Park on Saturday. The man was reportedly emptying a bucket into the river when he was pulled from the boat by a saltwater crocodile. With no cell phone reception in the remote national park, the man's family had to drive for 2 hours to raise the alarm. Wildlife rangers searched through the night, but the next day located and shot 2 large crocodiles found in the vicinity of the attack. Upon examination, human remains were found inside one of the crocodiles. The saltwater crocodile that killed the as yet unnamed man measured 4.7 meters, or roughly the length of a common family sedan. Located in northwest Australia, Kakadu National Park is known for its stunning beauty, but the park teems with huge saltwater crocodiles. The death on Saturday marks the second fatal crocodile attack this year in the famous national park.
Australian guy fights off croc attack with eye gouge. An Australian goose hunter survived a crocodile attack after wrestling the reptile and poking it in the eye. 20-year-old Stephen Maureen was out last Friday night drinking and shooting some geese with his brother in the Northern Territory. When he waded out into the waist-deep water to grab some of the geese, a 2-meter-long crocodile jumped out and grabbed his right arm. The crocodile then went into the death roll, but luckily for Maureen, when they went underwater, he was able to see the croc's eye, so he went in for the eye poke. The croc let go of Maureen, made for the bank, and Maureen's brother shot it. While waiting for the ambulance to come, Maureen threw back some more beers to numb the pain. I have a scratch on my back, the rest on my arm. He ripped out a bit of skin and left me with 2 or 3 holes, Maureen said.
Man screams in fear as boat approaches crocs in Everglades. Watch as this small canoe in Everglades National Park in Florida approaches 2 ferocious American crocodiles. The person in the bow of the boat seems to be too distracted with their camera to notice just how close their paddle is getting to the crocs resting in the mud. The man in the back gives a couple warnings before completely losing it and screaming in fear at the terrifying reptiles.
Sorry.
American crocodiles can live to be up to 70 years old. Males grow as large as 13 to 15 feet long and weigh up to 2,000 pounds. They are considered an endangered species that is known to live in parts of southern Florida, Mexico, Central America, the Caribbean, and the northern part of South America. They are also reportedly less aggressive than other species of crocodiles and alligators, with only a few unverified fatal attacks on humans.
Girl kills massive alligator with crossbow. A 10-year-old girl took down an alligator nearly 10 times her size with a single crossbow during a hunt in southern Texas late last month. The reportedly record-setting kill saw Ella Hawk shoot a 13-foot, 800-pound gator in front of her proud parents, Tony and Cindy, next to the Guadalupe River just outside of Victoria. Encouraged by mom and dad, a crossbow-wielding Ella reportedly positioned herself some 15 yards from the alligator in preparation for the kill. Relaxed and cool as a cucumber, according to her dad, Ella pointed her weapon at the target and delivered a picture-perfect shot that sent the arrow flying and landing right above the large reptile's 2 eyes, paralyzing and killing it instantly. Just to make sure it was dead though, her hunting guide handed her 2 insurance arrows, the first of which she apparently Robin Hooded and sent right through her original killing blow. Apparently this wasn't enough though, so just to be absolutely extra sure the trophy animal was prepped and ready for a taxidermist, the hunting guide handed the preteen girl a .243 caliber pistol to finish the job right. Despite the size of the animal, Ella's parents, who've been taking her hunting for years, were no doubt not too surprised by their daughter's hunting prowess. "I was more nervous than her before the shot," said her dad speaking to the Victoria Advocate. "She has nerves of steel before the shot. She's just gifted like that, I guess."
Suspected burglar eaten by an alligator while hiding from the police. A suspected burglar was killed and eaten by an alligator while he was hiding from the police near a lake in Barefoot Bay, Florida last month. On November 13th, Brevard County deputies responded to reports of two suspicious men who were allegedly attempting to burgle houses in the Barefoot Bay area. The duo fled when officers approached. One of the men, Matthew Riggins, hid near a lake and called his girlfriend to tell her he was being chased by deputies. It's believed that he was then attacked by an alligator. Riggins' body was found 10 days later in the lake. Deputies were almost attacked by the same alligator when they tried to pull the remains of Riggins' body from the water. His hand and foot were found inside the alligator's stomach when the animal was later caught and euthanized. Investigators say Riggins' alleged accomplice has not been cooperating, but so far he has not been charged.